Welcome back to the City Surrey Showcase. I'm Keely Ramage Scott. I'm so excited once again to be back for a fifth go about of this. We love talking to artists in and around the city of Surrey. And today I have the pleasure of sitting down with DREW STOREY to hear about his journey so far. So glad to have you in the studio, DREW.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So you were a Basement to Stage participant.
Yep.
You were a Band-Aid participant, just a couple of the programs that we kind of work on here as well. But where did you start off to lead you to that point of going, okay, maybe this is something I want to pursue a little bit more seriously?
Yeah, I think so. I had been doing music since I was about, I want to say 9 or 10 years old. And I had started taking some singing lessons when I was younger and stuff like that. And then when I got into high school, I was like, I really want to play in a group. I went to some concerts and I was just so moved. And I was like, I want to be that person. You see it. And
it was the band thing that motivated you?
Yeah, okay. I was definitely writing my music for myself, but suddenly I wanted to have my songs not just be a piano and a guitar and a vocal. Like I really wanted that energy thing.
I relate to that, yeah.
Yeah, and it was just super exciting. So I was trying to teach a lot of my friends throughout middle and high school, just be like, oh, pick up this note and do this thing. And it was not as streamlined as the Basement to Stage approach, but it came up that my girlfriend's aunt sent me something on Facebook saying Band-Aid. And I was like, what is this? So I checked it out and went to that. And I met Sammy, and then he was like, oh, you got to do Basement to Stage. And I was one of the kids that did it.
That's awesome. Was that, I guess, in Basement to Stage's first iteration or closer? I mean, I guess it would have been a couple of years ago now.
Yeah, I don't know the answer. It was 2023, so maybe.
Cool. Yeah, well, I just resonate with that answer so much because I feel like we had similar stories. I was in elementary school and my friend and I both wanted to be in band, and we were very elementary school level, kind of like classical, learning piano for the first time, but we wanted to be the singers and neither one of us could carry a tune. I just told this story at her wedding the other day, actually. She thought it was hilarious. But anyway, like I digress. I think it's such a classic story for a lot of artists too, like growing up and wanting to be in a band and not just wanting to have it to yourself. Is collaboration important to you kind of when you're working on music these days, or do you like to be by yourself in your corner when you're writing?
Yeah, I think it's changed a lot. There's definitely, it kind of ebbs and flows. Like there's kind of seasons in my life where I'm like, okay, something happened to me or whatever, whether that's a good or bad thing. I'm like, I want to make music out of this. That's a lot of how it is with my writing, is like experience based. And then sometimes when I just want to mess around, I'll do like concept based writing and bring other people in. Yeah. But there are times when I'm like, I hit a wall in my own stuff, or I feel like I have nothing to say. Then I kind of become more of a collaborator where I find people just to continue making music with, because I love making music, and it doesn't always flow when it comes to my own stuff and talking about like my life and things like that. But if something feels personal, whether that's good or bad, I definitely start by myself, and it usually stays that way. But I do co-write and stuff for other people's projects, and I do enjoy jams and things like that. And even with my own band, it'll be like, I'll bring a song, I'll bring the chord changes and the melody and stuff. And if a guitar player is like, hey, you said play this lick, but this sounds cooler, I'll be like, yeah, that actually does sound a lot better than what I wrote, so let's keep it, and things like that.
Nice to be able to remove your ego from situations like that too, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's taken practice. I'll be I'll be so honest. I'm not going to try and be two-faced and be like, guys, I've been perfect, because I have friends who have been in...
no ego ever.
I have so many friends who have been in iterations of bands with me that would be like, well, DREW at 14, no ego. No, he was horrible to be like. I was
that's just being 14, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I was such a perfectionist. I was like, if we are not the Beatles by 15, then who are we? Like, really? So.
Yeah. Do you find like a lot of your influences in music comes from older stuff, or who do you kind of draw from these days when you're writing?
Yeah, so I grew up listening to older stuff. My grandpa, who has unfortunately passed away, he raised me on a lot of like late 50s, early 60s rock and roll. So the early Beatles records, Beach Boys, and then a lot of like crooner music where it's like jazz harmony, but done in like a pop contemporary style, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And like bubblegum pop, that type of music where like the chord progressions are a little bit more dense than what was happening in the 2000s kind of pop world. Not that there wasn't people, but primarily. Yeah. But it was very melody driven. So I loved that stuff. And then I was also listening to, of course, 2000s and 2010s, like Katy Perry, Taylor Swift, all that type of stuff, like growing up, because it was just on. And my older sister influenced a lot of that stuff. So I would say it's really a blend of that. Now I'm really into, in terms of older artists, Bruce Springsteen, I like a lot. And I really, in newer artists, my favorite is Rex Orange County.
Okay, cool. It's funny that you mentioned like jazz harmony over top of pop music because I feel like some of that has come back into modern styles
Totally.
too. Like Olivia Dean comes to mind.
Yeah.
Like totally. Like it's just I feel like it just reiterates the idea that music is timeless and it speaks to everyone and it's a
Yeah.
language in that way,
It's
you
very
know?
cyclical too. Like
Yeah.
things will go in and out of phase. So it's kind of like you just got to like or just make what you like because if it's not popular now, it probably will be in like 3 years.
It's like fashion in that way too.
Totally.
It's like dress for yourself and also like listen to music for yourself because it does cycle. You're right.
Yeah.
Both of them are like that. It's fun. Like I think all creative disciplines in a way are.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Well, you and I had a really great conversation before the cameras turned on
Yeah.
about imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
And kind of the ways that maybe it holds you back or you feel like sometimes reliant on other people or like that some other people have had a leg up by being naturally gifted in ways when they're younger versus having to work for it. The idea of, I'm sure even like growing up for me, I was in like early high school when YouTube was really getting huge and seeing like kids that are like 6 years old and being like having perfect rhythm on the
Prodigy.
drums, literally stuff like that. I want to know, because a question I always ask people on this show is if you have any advice for somebody just starting out in music, or even if you'd go back and give advice to your younger self, what that would be. But maybe specifically bringing it back to that conversation we were having, because I'm sure you've grown from the time that you started working on music when you were 9 years old
Yeah,
to
I hope.
now being 20. Yeah. And especially even like just the idea that your friends would have told you at 14 that you had no ego or you had an ego.
Oh,
and
no,
now,
for sure.
now you
for
would
sure.
like, I guess it's just showing that there is like growth.
Oh,
And
every day. Like,
what kind of advice do you have to people about, I guess, leaning into that growth and leaning into the idea of embracing themselves?
yeah, I think, I would say number one, it sounds like the most preachy end of a movie type thing to ever say, but it's about the people that you work with and not the not the product. So reflecting on just specifically when you mentioned like, and we talked about bands that I was previously in when I was younger. I regret a lot of that. I carry a lot of weight of being like, I took this beautiful thing, this inspiration and love for music, and I wanted to get me and my friends playing at that level that I saw people that I liked doing. And I went about it in a very forceful, like, really long 6-hour rehearsals. Like, just like, I'm talking literally boot camp because I was like, well, that's what the pros do. So why wouldn't we? Horrible idea. So, I mean, like when you see, when you see pros doing that, they're like a different breed of of things. So I would say it's really important to remember that like why you fell in love with music and why you're drawn to it. It's really easy to become in any field, but especially music, like really outcome focused and being like, oh, we have a show coming up and I want to play the perfect set. It's like, yeah, that's cool, but like, are your bandmates happy? Like that, like seriously.
I'm impressed that you got your friends to stick around for 6-hour rehearsals. To be honest,
and that was in college. that was
Oh,
yeah. There's been a lot.
I mean, I guess if they were in college, it would be a little bit more dedicated because you went to music school too, didn't you? Or,
yeah. So it was like a lot of that type of stuff. And
people are more used to it, I guess. But
and when you don't have time for like multiple rehearsals, you try and squeeze a lot into like one, things like that. So.
Oh, I've been there.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, I just think remembering that like the reason that you do this, I would assume, is because someone inspired you, something inspired you.
Right.
It was some type of positive joy thing, and it's very easy to lose that at times. And so it's like really reminding yourself that your responsibility to yourself and to others that you work with is keeping that positivity alive. So.
That's a great piece of advice. You want it to remain a positive experience so that you still love it yourself.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm still learning that though.
Yeah,
like,
no. I mean, I feel like we're always all on a journey of learning new things about ourselves, and that's part of removing the ego from it, right?
Totally.
Anyway, where can we find you online these days?
Yeah, so Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, stuff like that. Just DREW Story. I tend to put out like a song a year right now, just while I was in high school and college, but I'm working on some more stuff so that I can be more consistent. Like I was just kind of doing it as benchmarks to like show my friends, oh, this is my favorite song I wrote this year. But now I'm trying to like do like the proper like momentum, every 8 weeks release a single, like whenever that ends up.
Build the artistry.
Exactly, yeah.
Awesome.
And like make it more of a career type thing. But yeah, and then also Instagram is where I'm most active for sure. TikTok as well, but Instagram.
Yeah.
That's
Awesome. Well, looking forward to seeing where that momentum leads.
Thanks.
Great. And thanks everyone for tuning in to another episode of the Music City Surrey Showcase. We'll see you next time.
Round and around, round back again. Well, my mind's running circles as I'm stuck in bed. I try to reach out for help or a friend, but my only buddy's this paper and pen. Round and around, I've been here for weeks, but the days feel like minutes when I'm in these sheets. And I gotta find help that'll work out for me, 'cause a slight inconvenience brings me to my knees. And I can't define the change in my mind. No, it happened too quickly, the blink of an eye. But just like the wind, it's come back again to knock me on down just as I've settled in. I'm going right back round again, yeah. Round and around, I'm stuck on repeat. Said the days feel like minutes when I'm in these sheets. My ship is sinking, it's easy to see, but I'll bottle it up so you won't drown with me. Oh, oh, I can't define the change in my mind. No, it happened too quickly, the drop of a dime. But just like the wind, it's come back again to knock me on down just as I've settled in. I'm going right back round again, yeah. I'm going right back till it's over. Swear it's over for the last time. But I said that last time, and I can't define the change in my mind. I swear all my life I was happy this time, but just like the wind, it's come back again to knock me on down just as I've settled in. I'm going right back round again, yeah, yeah. Whoa, yeah. I'm going right back round again. Round and around, round back again. Well, my mind's running circles as I'm stuck in bed. I try to reach out for help or a friend,